The war in Ukraine continues with full intensity. August 11th, 2026. An elderly Russian soldier trying to climb through a broken window, stuck halfway. The FPV drone finds him exactly there. A Russian soldier broken by the heat, barely moving, clearly done. He spots the drone and gives it a thumbs up. Whatever that meant to him in that moment, the drone drops its payload anyway. Zaporizhzhia direction. Russian logistics routes under constant surveillance. Every vehicle that moves through this sector gets found. Trucks, vans, ATVs, anything carrying supplies or personnel toward the front. The Ronin battalion working through the list one by one. Each vehicle intercepted here is a delivery that doesn't arrive, a rotation that doesn't complete. The supply chain Russia depends on in this sector keeps getting shorter. A munition dropped from above. The soldier goes down and stays down. Sitting up on the ground, he pulls his weapon and opens fire at the drone still watching him. Shot after shot from where he fell. It's the only response he has left. A second drone arrives and drops a munition directly onto him. The shooting stops. A Russian soldier, no camouflage, completely exhausted. He sees the drone and starts gesturing. The operator watches, then makes a call. The drone pulls back. One of the rarer decisions on this front. Crawling on his knees across the front line. The drone finds him before he gets anywhere. This is what Russia's advance looks like up close. Russian soldiers in a vehicle pushing south of Pokrovsk toward their position. The drone closes faster than the vehicle can move. It reaches them before they arrive anywhere. Same result, different vehicle. Unarmored transport on this front has no answer for what's above it. No protection, no counter, nothing between the soldiers inside and the drone closing in. It reaches them every time. Magyar's birds operators in the forests of Donetsk, knowing exactly where to look, where soldiers shelter, where they move, which tree lines they use. Hours of scanning before anything appears. Then a Russian soldier steps into frame. By the time he sees the drone in front of him, the gap is already too small to run. That's what years of experience on this front looks like. Asleep in the bushes, a hiding spot that looked good enough. The drone arrives before he wakes up. He never sees it coming. Russia's latest anti-drone technology, a tree branch. Russian soldiers swinging sticks at incoming FPV drones. Zero electronics, zero batteries, maximum commitment. Russia spent billions on electronic warfare. Ukraine built FPV drones. Russia's answer, a stick. This is where that gap ends up. 3 Russian soldiers walking past a drone sitting on the ground. It lifts off the moment they pass. They scatter in 3 directions. One of them doesn't get far enough. Ambush drones, already on the ground, already in position before anyone starts moving. Roads, trails, crossing points. Every route that Russian soldiers use has one waiting. The moment something moves past, the operator lifts off. No warning sound coming from distance. No time to spot it in the sky. The drone is already at ground level, already aimed, already closing before anyone knows it's there. One after another in this footage, soldiers who walked into something that was waiting for them before they even left their position. This is harder to survive than anything coming from above. Russia keeps trying to move supplies through the rear. Apache unit crews keep showing up uninvited. Bukhanka vans, the vehicles Russia depends on to keep its front line running. Ammunition, fuel, personnel. Every route they establish, Ukraine finds. Every van they send through, Apache intercepts. One after another, the same result. Russia builds the supply line. Ukraine takes it apart. This is what that cycle looks like. Run after run after run. Open ground, alone, and a drone closing in. The only thing in his hand is a stick. He swings it at the drone as it gets close. The last available option when there's nothing else. It doesn't connect with anything useful. Out in the open with no cover and no weapon, a stick is what this front has come down to for some of these soldiers. Leaves covering his uniform. Invisible, he thinks. He was spotted before any of that mattered. The drone reaches him in minutes. No time to raise his weapon. The camouflage didn't buy him a second. A Russian truck cutting through an open field, probably trying to avoid the road. One wrong turn. The explosion that follows is massive, far bigger than a standard anti-personnel mine. The truck is gone instantly. What kind of mine does that to a vehicle this size? A Russian Ulan ATV column moving out of Kursk Oblast, headed for Sumy. A cross-border assault attempt. Ukrainian FPV drones are already waiting before the column clears the area. Vehicle after vehicle, targeted in sequence, each one stopped before it reaches Ukrainian territory. The assault that was supposed to push into Sumy Oblast never gets close. Whatever was planned on the other side of that border stays there. Multiple munitions dropped, one after another. He survives every single one, using the tree line, moving at the right moment, putting just enough between himself and each blast. The drones keep coming. The munitions keep missing. Eventually, the payload runs out. He runs. On this front, that almost never happens. This soldier is the exception. 5 Russian soldiers in a basement of a destroyed building. They thought the rubble above them was enough. 2 drones hit in succession, high explosive payloads. Nobody walks out of a strike like that. 2 motorcycles, a D-30 howitzer, an electronic warfare system, a surveillance camera, and 2 fortified shelters. All hit in the same operation in the south. The motorcycles that were supposed to keep Russian forces mobile in this sector, gone. The artillery piece that was supposed to provide fire support, gone. The electronic warfare system that was supposed to protect all of it from drone strikes, hit by a drone. Everything in sequence, everything in one sweep. The Simferopol-Novoazovsk highway, Russia's main land artery, connecting the Russian Federation to occupied Crimea, running through Melitopol, Berdyansk, and Mariupol. Trucks and fuel tankers burning along it, one after another. Fuel that doesn't reach Crimea means generators that run dry, military systems that go dark. This isn't just a highway strike, it's the spine of Russia's southern supply chain, and it's on fire. A Russian radar system caught mid-setup. Crew still working on building its shelter when the Ram 2X arrives. Ukraine's domestically developed loitering munition, first introduced in 2024 as a direct answer to Russian Lancet drones. A 4-kilogram warhead, precise enough for air defense targets. The radar that was about to become operational, taken out before the shelter around it was even finished. The front is changing. Ukraine's 147th Artillery Brigade deploying ground robotic platforms alongside reconnaissance drones and artillery, all operating as one system. The robot finds the target, the drone confirms it, the gun fires. Russian soldiers on this front are no longer just dealing with what they can see. They're dealing with what they can't. A Russian weapons and ammunition depot located in Kharkiv Oblast, hidden but found. One precise strike. Everything stored there for the positions ahead, gone before it reaches them. The front it was supposed to supply gets a little harder to sustain. Russia thought the position was hidden. One drone disagreed. Ammunition, fuel, food, everything needed to keep that stretch of front running, stored together, poorly concealed. One strike, gone in seconds. That's the cost of hiding it badly. A jet-powered Shahed intercepted mid-air by a Ukrainian drone. Not a missile, not a Patriot battery. A drone chasing down another drone at altitude. Ukraine's defense intelligence specialists tracking the Shahed before it reaches its target and closing in. The faster, more expensive variant of Russia's aerial campaign stopped the same way. Russian forces turning abandoned houses into defensive positions along the southeastern front. Trenches aren't holding anymore, so they move into buildings. Walls instead of dirt, roofs instead of sandbags. Ukraine's Wild Division sends drones in one by one. High explosive payloads, direct entry through doors and windows. Each house that was converted into a position gets taken apart the same way it was fortified. The building that was supposed to be safer than the trench becomes the last place they're in. Russian footage showing a stretch of road lined with Ukrainian fiber-optic ambush drones, over 100 of them, sitting in position, waiting. This is what fiber-optic drone warfare looks like at scale. No signal to jam, no electronics to counter. Just drones on the ground, already aimed, waiting for something to move past. Russia filmed this. Russia is the target. 254 combat engagements recorded in the last 24 hours. Lyman and Kostiantynivka, the heaviest sectors. Ukraine struck a Russian petrochemical plant more than 2,000 kilometers from the border overnight, described as a significant achievement. Russia fired 126 drones at Ukraine the same night. Russia plans to more than double its missile salvo capacity. The front barely moves. The strikes keep reaching further in both directions. Drop a comment. Ukraine is hitting targets 2,000 kilometers away. Where does this end?